Hi, I'm Jewel Buenavista from San Diego, California. Welcome to Faith and Family. We are a Christian family community that aims to provide Christian advice and promote Christian values. According to a study, 1 in 8 couples have trouble getting pregnant or sustaining a pregnancy. But there are options, and adoption is one of them. Today, we'll be talking to Derek and Narissa Hunter, who's had a very difficult time staying pregnant. After many years of trying, prayers led them to adopt a child. They're on with us from Fairfield, California. Hi, Derek and Narissa.
Hi.
Hello.
So tell me, how long were you trying to conceive?
We were trying to have a baby for 3 years.
We weren't having much luck.
Well, we experienced 3 pregnancy losses kind of back to back. And one of the pregnancy losses involved a loss of my left fallopian tube. So the doctor told us that we would have a 25% chance of conceiving on our own, or he recommended we try in vitro.
Can you tell me how did you feel? I mean, I can't even imagine the feeling of 3 losses and just tell me a little bit about your emotions in those times.
It was an emotional roller coaster because it took a toll on me, like physically and emotionally. I didn't like going to the baby section of stores. I didn't like seeing other pregnant people. So it was very hard on both of us. And people would always ask us questions like, "Why don't you have any kids?"
Those were hard to
So
answer.
those type of gatherings were very difficult.
So, I mean, after 3 losses, I can't even imagine. I mean, did you give up at one point of how did you transition to wanting to adopt a child?
I we never lost hope. We never lost faith, and it brought us a relationship closer because we were there for each other, during the hard times. But I just got this calling to research adoption, and I was at home. I wasn't working at the time because I was overseas in Belgium, and so I just started researching it every day while Derek was at work.
How did you both of you start talking about it?
Well, honestly, it was not my first option that I wanted to try because initially I had this crazy feeling, kind of a selfish feeling now that I look back at it, that if I was to take someone else's child, it wouldn't be my creation. It wouldn't be my child. And I couldn't accept it at first. I knew people did it. And I knew, circumstances were there to where people would make this choice and they love it. And I've met people who were adopted, and I don't know why I had at first like an issue with it, but the more we researched and the more stories we heard, the more open I became to the fact that there's nothing wrong with taking somebody who doesn't have a parent at all, and then taking care of that child.
Tell me about that process.
Well, the biggest thing was the cost because we're like, okay, so we want to adopt, we want a baby, but how are we going to afford it? And how are we going to find an agency that will work with us while we are overseas, in Germany? So I was on a forum, an adoption forum, that had some military families on there. And so through them, I was able to find an agency based out in Minnesota that helped families in the military adopt. They had contacts in Germany that could help us with our home study and our visas, all of the paperwork that was involved. And they helped us decide which country we wanted to adopt from. So we were trying to choose from several countries. We had Philippines, China, Korea, Bulgaria, Russia, Kazakhstan, Guatemala, and Colombia. And we had to narrow it down. Yeah.
Wow. Well, how did you and Derek decide to what countries to narrow it down to? I can't imagine that process in itself for the conversation the two of you had.
Well, basically, we chose Colombia because of the costs and because the babies were younger, like 3 months. We didn't care about the child not being the same like race or ethnicity as us. We just wanted a baby. We wanted a young baby um, that was from uh, an orphanage that was well kept and had papers and documents.
Do you mind me asking, what was the average cost in having to adopt in Colombia?
From start to finish, it was probably $25,000.
Wow.
Yeah, well, we researched a lot about how to raise the funds. I mean, we took out very small loans. I mean, we had savings. We had Derek's family pitch in to help with the costs. So the costs were not. It wasn't like 25,000 all at once. It was all in increments. So we had a lot of time to save up and to gather the funds for this.
Awesome. What were your prayers like at that time?
So our prayers, I mean, because our prayers initially, we were like, please, bless us with good health, with a healthy pregnancy, and then our prayers changed to, if it's not, you know, if it's not meant to have our own biological children, just bless us with a family, by any means. We want to, grow family. So, we prayed pretty much every night for God to guide us and lead us into the right direction.
Wow, that's beautiful. So that's why when now even the cost being a challenge for a lot of people, somehow it just kind of kept falling into place when it was needed.
We were blessed.
How did you guys feel when they found a child for you?
That was exciting.
We first got the news. We just got home from attending worship service in Heidelberg, and it was 4 days before Derek's birthday. And I had a missed call on my cell phone. And I opened up my email, and I saw an email from the agency stating that they had a child that was waiting to be adopted, and they asked us if we wanted to move forward and adopt this child. And attached was a picture and all his birth documents. And we basically had like 24 hours to say yes or no.
Wow.
It took 10 months to get that call.
I was pouring with emotion. I saw this adorable little kid in this picture, and I almost froze. I mean, honestly, I couldn't figure out what to do next. I was just so excited. We're like, oh my God. And when I just looked at this little face, and I showed one of my friends, he's like, that's a cute kid. I was like, oh, that's right, he is. My gosh, we should go for it.
His birth name was Simone. Okay, no, Simon. His birth name was Simon
Villamil
Villamil. So like
Castañeda.
Simon Villamil Castaneda. And we changed his name to Gian Benicio. His nickname is Chancho.
Chancho. So Gian, I think Gian is easier for me to say.
Yes.
So this all happened in 2006?
November 2006.
So Gian is what, 9 or 10
He's
now?
9 years old. He attends choir practice. He, practices piano. He's really good in school. He's a very good kid. We couldn't ask for a better first son.
And actually, you guys got a really great surprise after adoption, right?
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Funny thing is, when we adopted our son and we brought him home, the next month we were pregnant. I know. So now we have 4 children.
That's amazing. I loved how you say you prayed for a family, and now He gave you 4 kids. What does this say about God?
Just if you have faith in God and you pray and you don't lose hope, God's blessings is bountiful. So He just blessed us with so much more than just one child.
Well, when we ask, we pray for it,
He really delivers.
Delivers in more way. You ask for a family, and here's your family. So tell me about your kids, Derek. I mean, there's four of them. I mean, does the other kids know? Does Gian know he's adopted? Does the other kids know that he's adopted? Or tell me about that dynamics.
Yeah, we had full disclosure since he was able to understand. We let him know from the beginning because I don't want him to find out when he's a teenager and start getting crazy over it. Um, I've seen that happen in movies or whatnot. That sounds ridiculous. I don't want him to have to make that decision. Oh, should I go to a different country that I've never been and hunt down some family member that I've heard about? I don't think I want that to be an issue for him. So from the beginning, we talked it over and we said, let's let him know where he's from. And when you ask him anytime, where you from, man? He goes, Colombia.
Colombia.
He's very proud about his heritage and his country. You know, when the Colombians play soccer, you know, we put him in his Colombian soccer gear.
Oh.
And he's not ashamed of being adopted. He will tell his teachers. His siblings will tell their teachers that they have an adopted brother. You know, they're very supportive and they're proud of it.
What a great blessing for your family.
Thank you for letting us share our story.
Yes, this is amazing.
I hope we can bring hope and faith to other families that are thinking about adopting or trying to have a baby.
We're very thankful for you sharing your experience with us on Faith and Family.